clear in here. It's so beautiful.
It does look good.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? We're live. A Guy Think Podcast, episode 46. I can't believe it. 46 episodes. We're closing in on the 1 year mark, which I'm very excited about.
You should be so proud. That's great.
So, yeah, it's been really cool. The episode, we're here. You know what I'm saying? We're here.
And you should be too.
And you really should be. I mean, as you can see, check the place out. Check it out.
Well, but
I mean, what a background.
That. But we got these.
Made by my boy John Moore. Thank you very much,
it's my pleasure. This
Appreciate
is a black rum old fashioned with some fun modifiers. What do you think?
Dude, that's damn good.
It is. I've been practicing.
That's a damn good drink. Holy shit, man.
The one thing I noticed when you were making these off camera before we went live is that I've never seen this done before, is you don't just put the orange peel in the drink. You actually wiped the rim of the drink with the orange peel before you put it in there. I've never seen that before.
Well, I'm sad that you never saw it before.
I've never seen it before.
I think if I could choose an epitaph, it would have something to do with he made the world a more delicious place. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. People, whether they know it or not, eat and drink with their eyes first, their nose second, and their mouth last. So if I can give you something for the eyes, either while I'm doing it or at least make sure the drink is beautifully garnished, then I fed the eyes. If I get those beautiful orange oils, for example, or any kind of a aromatic garnish on top of the drink, then it's hit your nose before the drink ever gets to your lips and your palate. And that's two ways I've encouraged you subliminally to want to love the drink. And if the drink itself also happens to be at least above average, then you're going to be just like, how do I spend more time in this guy's bar? So, the great practitioners of the cocktail, pick up these tricks and they employ them every last time. And it's like you said a while ago, every attention to detail. And now the cool thing is, having spent all these years behind the bar, I had my first bar shift when I was 19 years old.
Wow.
And later this year, I'm loath to confess, I'll be 47.
But I thought 37. Ladies?
Yeah.
Ladies?
I am.
Yeah, but you make bald look good, though.
I do. I try.
You make it sexy.
I do. Good.
He's bringing
You
sexy
and The Rock.
back.
Yeah, me and The Rock.
You and
Solid 6.5 out of 10, I think.
Hey,
It's not bad.
we can't all be sevens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to be a 7. I mean, I'm having a hard time being an 8. So,
Oh, that high.
I'm just throwing it out there.
The struggle is real.
The struggle's real. It's tough. It's not easy.
But it's easier if you get a cocktail.
It's way easier. So, John, thank you so much.
I'm so happy to see you guys.
Dude, thank you for the invitation.
My God.
I mean, it's an absolute pleasure to be here live, West Palm Beach, Florida, here at Steel Tie Spirits Distillery in the Warehouse District.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
just to let everybody know, please check out all of his Facebook, and Joe's got the Instagram, and as well as, of course, the podcast page itself. We walked around the neighborhood and took a few pictures just on the other end of this block here. We're at 1615 Clare Avenue, West Palm Beach. We're on the southern end of the block. But on the northern end of the block is a place called the Grandview Public Market. And if you've never been, imagine just the coolest food court without the mall. It's like all inspired artisanal, almost food truck quality, super cool food. And there's a great array of different cuisines for you to choose from. So as a destination, it's great. And they're on the southern end of the block. So people sometimes get their food, come over here and kick it with us. Just across the parking lot is a really great craft brewery called Steam Horse. The guys behind Steam Horse, Fran and Matt and Pat and the rest of their team, I know that I'm forgetting somebody's name and they're going to kick me in the nuts for it. But anyway, they're brilliant brewers. They've been doing it forever. And they've got Tequesta Brewing. They've got Twisted Trunk. Fran is the guy that used to distill for Kelly McGillis in her Key West tavern. The building is still there, but they're not doing brewing anymore. But when I found out that the guy that's across the parking lot from me used to brew in my hometown of Key West, I was just out of my mind. There's just so much talent down here in this neighborhood, and all we are is the first 3 businesses that are really doing hospitality, and everything else is about to pop.
You guys are killing it, dude.
We've been open a month and a half, and I'm going to be in the slowest time of the year. It's a great time for us to make our mistakes as a staff. But I mean, just look how sexy this room is, and you guys can only see it from one little angle.
This is only a very tiny corner of this place. I mean,
it's 6,300 square feet. The front of the house where we're sitting right now, the camera's on the tasting bar. In the back of the house, through these windows just over here to your camera left, we have 2,000-gallon fermentation tanks, a 2,000-gallon still. We're moving in a 200-gallon still with fermentation tanks. We've got a bottling line. We're manufacturing everything you can can do, by hand. We've got vodka, 3 kinds of rum. This is actually another kind of rum. By the way, I didn't tell you what was in that old fashioned.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what did you put in? By the way, guys, for the new viewers that are just popping into the show, we're having old fashions right now, and I'm not just saying.
Don't blow smoke.
No blowing smoke. I'm just blowing some truth, and I'm dropping a truth bomb. Best fucking old fashioned I've ever had in my entire life.
That's David Bouchard. We have our competition.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna have
an old fashioned comp.
For the record, if anybody watching or listening doesn't know David Bouchard, he's general manager and beverage director of a really great place in Delray Beach, Florida, called Death or Glory. Annie and Amy are the 2 main owners there, and they're very dear friends. David is one of my favorite dudes in the world, especially in hospitality. He's such a pro, and his drinks are on point, and his staff is all brilliant. So if you guys are anywhere near Delray, get down and see those guys. But David and I have a standing invitation from Joe and Dana to do an old-fashioned competition just head-to-head. I would like to do that at some point. We're both a little bit busy, but I'm sure we can carve out a night one time.
Yeah, we're going to do a live podcast. I think we should.
Out of Death or Glory?
I think we could set something up.
I mean, I bet you they'd love to host us.
Yeah, I think we'd be good.
So here's what's in the old-fashioned. Of course, I use the black rum as the backbone. 2 ounces of the black rum. By the way, it's brand newly released along with the vodka. So if you guys haven't seen it, but you've got a place where you buy your white and spice black royal rum, we just yesterday shipped 2 pallets of the black rum and 2 pallets of the vodka. And so it's out there now, and it's all pretty much the same price. I've never seen anything for much more than like $25 a bottle, which for handmade local is amazing. But back to the recipe. 2 ounces of the black rum.
Okay.
A 1/4 ounce of Grand Marnier. A 1/4 ounce of this, which is something Ben, my distiller, Ben Etheridge, the genius visionary whose room we're sitting in, and this is his vision with his dad. Ben forgot that he made this. He had a barrel. He bought it. The first fill of the barrel was bourbon. The second fill was port wine. He got a hold of it for a great price, and he put some just straight off distilled rum in it, and he forgot about it. And then years later, when we were starting to set this retail display up, Ben thought he could use that barrel as a retail display base. And then we went to go pick it up and we realized it was not empty. And so he opened it up and it was like one of found footage on, for a documentary.
That's like finding an old baseball card that's worth a lot of money.
So actually, I'm going to grab, I'm going to get up and grab a couple of glasses. I want you guys to taste this.
Go while you do that. Quick shout out, Roger Carrison. What's up, bro? Old fashions are awesome. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are, bro. Good to hear from you too, by the way.
This is the
Alex says he's going to pick up a bottle. He's a rum guy. Love it.
Thank you, Alex.
Also, while John's getting that set up, just wanted to give a shout out to Abby Velasquez on my last episode 45. He's in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He just won the fight at the Bare Knuckle 6 pay-per-view 2 weeks ago. So he was the last guest on the show, so I wanted to thank him for being on the show. I also have a Skype show as well.
Oh, amazing.
So
congratulations to him kicking that ass.
He's the man, dude. So, Abby, thanks again for being on the show. And I got some things I'm going to report at the end of the episode.
Can't wait.
About UFC fighter that's going to be on the show that I've already reported.
By the way, to that point, we're looking at working with the local, I guess you would kind of refer to it as, don't kill me, please, I'm wrong about this, the minor leagues of UFC. There's some local rings and promoters or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're getting involved with promoting and supporting that whole effort. So
awesome.
One more guy thing. Anyway, so here's what this is. This is the rum that Ben forgot. It's been sitting for nobody knows how many years. Do you get raisins and blackcurrant?
Yeah, I do actually. I could definitely get raisins.
It's been sitting in a port wine barrel that originally had been a bourbon barrel, so it's super complex. Came out at a super high proof. I want to say it was 131 proof. I brought it down to 90 to use in these old fashions, and it's literally just a 1/4 ounce. He only had 10 or 12 bottles worth of this. So I wish there was something we could sell.
Look at his face. You're like,
I'm doing pirouettes in my mouth right now. It smells so fucking good.
Well, taste it. It's a little bit strong.
Are we gonna shoot it or we're gonna do it?
Well, it's only a little 1/4 ounce. So roll it across your palate. Anybody who's doing any kind of a tasting of something that's brand new to them, I always encourage smelling it first, trying to detect and identify aromatic notes, and then when you do sip it, roll it over your whole tongue so that all your taste buds have a shot at it.
The initial taste is fucking believable.
It's the most bizarre rum.
He knows how he made this. He remembers everything.
Yeah. You just have to get a hold of one of those identical barrels to be able to do it. But
the whole taste of bourbon too.
Oh yeah, you do.
Well, definitely, but also the wood is through and through, and so much to the point. Over there behind the camera, there are 3 or 4 more bottles of it. And before I bring them to proof, I have to pour it through like a fine strainer and some cheesecloth because like some of the wood came apart on the inside of the barrel. And it's just still sitting there getting more and more oaky the longer I let it sit.
Bro, I got to tell you.
This is just a house of experimentation. We're not just making stuff that makes it.
You know what's crazy? I actually taste the wood.
You sure do.
It's unbelievable.
As soon as you start to get it down, like as soon as
I rolled it off the palate, dude.
And now try a sip of your drink again and see if you can detect like how that plays with the black rum.
Slow down there, buddy.
Here, I'll share some.
Slow down, catch up. Slow down.
I'm afraid. You got that friggin' speed demon out there. I'm afraid, dude.
Look, I got great food waiting for me. I'll probably go hit that after we're done.
I knew you're going to go to the ramen place.
Yes, I am.
Oh, the duck.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And they had an
So
ice
you
cream.
in that joint up.
The one, the ice cream place too.
Yeah, it's called Sugar Milk.
Blending the ice cream.
They are
Guys, for our listeners out there, we got some listeners in the chat. West Palm Beach, you got to come out here. This warehouse, the warehouse district, it's fucking nuts. It's nice.
It's amazing.
It's really a cool place.
And it's a place of deliciousness. And, you know, speaking for the brewery and for the distillery, it's a place of education, too. If you want to know anything at all about craft beer, get over there and talk to Pat and Fran and Matt and the boys and the girls. They have some brilliant bartenders that know everything there is to know about the craft beer they're serving you. If you want to know anything, they'll tell you. They'll sell you growlers. We sit in here. Is it okay if I get into how bad Florida law sucks real quick?
Let's talk about Florida law, because I got some shit I want to talk about later, but I want you to fucking get into it.
Okay.
Do it.
So check it out. 150 yards away from us, or 150 feet rather, is Steam Horse Brewery. They're allowed to sell you a pint of the beer, a single serving, whatever, in a retail setting. A winery in Florida can sell you a glass of wine. In here in this distillery, 150 feet from the brewery, I can't sell you a cocktail. I'm only allowed to sell bottles on that display. I can give away little tasting samples, but I can give away whatever I want. But I mean, where's the business sense in that? Florida law needs to be modernized. So if you're inclined and you're a Florida resident, you would like to see not just us, but St. Augustine and there are 48 local, by local, I mean in Florida, 48 craft distilleries, all of whom are prevented from having a cocktail bar just by virtue of the antiquated laws. They came in post-prohibition. They have not been modernized. Those laws were meant to stop like the mafia. And with all due love and respect to the lore and the storytelling the mafia gave us, it's time to update these laws and let me have some bartenders earn a living, making tips and making great cocktails. Mm-hmm. Once again, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to make this world a more delicious place. And in order to do that,
I'm so happy to be here. Right now.
And we're happy
this
to have
guy
you.
right here.
But I mean, literally, I can't sell you a cocktail, but they can sell you a pint. And I'm not jealous. They're selling you beautiful pints. I am jealous. Let me rephrase.
Yeah,
There's no reason that state law should be holding back Florida businesses from employing from within their community, from doing better work. And by the way, this distillery, every bottle of rum that we've ever sold, and it will go with the vodka and the gin we're developing and the whiskeys that we're developing and everything else we ever do, every bottle we sell generates $1 donation to a local veterans group. It's time for me to tell anybody who doesn't know that the company was founded by a father and son team. Clint was the father, Ben is the son. I don't know if I told you this the first time we were together on air. When Ben was 15 years old, he got curious about distilling. And he went and bought a book. And his mom was a nighttime nurse, and his dad was a nighttime cop. And he was unsupervised. His brother and sister were already older and out of the house. Dude built a 3-gallon still in his dad's garage with shit laying around the house. And for almost a full year, he was making really great sour mash whiskey. Everybody I ever talked to had some of it. Wow, this kid who's nowhere near old enough even to buy it is making stuff that is evidently far superior to the stuff you could buy in the
So he was the coolest kid in school.
Oh, yeah. For sure. But one day, here's what happened. One day his dad came home, not feeling so hot at work. He left a little early, came home and caught Ben making illicit booze in the garage, whipped his little ass. Yeah. But 15 years later, they founded this company. The way that story was told by Clint to me, he said, there's a winter or fall of 2011, Thanksgiving, Ben came to his dad and mom's house, gave his dad a mason jar with some rum. He said, Dad, what do you think of this? And it was pretty good. And they talked about it a little bit. Then Ben came back at Christmas time and said, Dad, try this. And his dad went, whoa. What did you do differently? And they talked about it. And they sipped over some more of it. And the more they started to talk about it, the more they realized it would be insane not to create this company. And that is how Black Coral Rum was born. They officially incorporated in the summer of 2012, so it's been 7 years now. Mm-hmm. About a month and a half ago, very suddenly, Clint passed away. He had been the head of the Palm Beach County SWAT team for 33 years. His funeral was very military style and full of honor.
Wow.
He was active in the local VFW's motorcycle group club that was very service oriented. He was a past president. It was his idea to make sure that this company, upon its inception, gave money to local veterans. This company is not in business just to do business. We're here to make everything better, and not just from my deliciousness perspective, but like, who needs help? Who can we help out? Phase 2 of the build out of this place, we're going to figure out a way to capture the CO2 off of our fermentation tanks, pipe it up to a greenhouse we're going to build on the roof, and use that to grow our gin botanicals. So anybody who's
creative shit.
Anybody
So
who's
creative. I mean, you guys haven't seen it yet. We're only getting
Get
to
your tails
one
in here,
here,
man.
But to my right, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a science lab for booze. That's the best way I could explain it to you guys.
That's right.
To my right, it's unbelievable. I did take some pictures. They're gonna go on social media. You guys are gonna see this place. This place is unbelievable. And I mean, come on. Ladies, guys, it's a nice place. You got to come over here.
So here's with regard
really
to the
cool.
place, we were talking about making sure we talk a little bit about the history. This building was constructed originally in 1925 and 26 as a warehouse for the Southern Bell Corporation. Originally, there was no floor in here. It was like horses moving goods in and out. Now, just once again, you can't see it, but through that wall is the original railroad tracks that Henry Flagler built to go between Jacksonville and Key West.
Overseas Railroad.
The Overseas Railroad, exactly. So all these warehouses along the way, the Grandview Market is a rehab on one of those old warehouses that used to put stuff on and off of those trains for transit. This place was moving equipment for Southern Bell to be able to put up more telephone lines and whatnot. In the 50s, the building got repurposed for a local construction company. We got a hold of it 2 years ago. We knocked down all the cinder block in here, and Ben is a general contractor. He's just a building genius. I feel like Ben has to see the world like it's an exploded diagram of things. Like you just take a look at it and go, I know how that works. Yeah. I am not that guy. So I had the wheelbarrow full of rubble of the shit he was knocking down. And that is the extent to which I contributed to the build out of this place. But it's Ben and Clint's vision. And, we're just glad Clint got to see it in its final form with some people coming in and out of here, enjoying everything. The building has been dedicated to him. Everything we do is, with a nod toward what he wanted us to be doing.
That's respect, and that's old school.
He's just a good
I love
man.
it. I actually, I follow you guys. Obviously, love you guys. You guys are like family. Seriously, you're the extension.
Company.
You're the extension of Steel Tie and Black Coral, right?
Yeah,
I know Ben personally. I know you, but I love Ben because I love you, man. You're a great dude. No, seriously. And
when
I
you
saw the
meet
pictures.
When you meet him, you will find an exceptional human being. I would have left my hometown to come here and help them, build this brand if it wasn't for good human beings.
Dude, I saw the pictures
is.
on social media of him and his dad. It's just so cool to see. His dad sitting down, him standing up. It's a family business, father and son team.
Exactly what it is.
It reminds me of a relationship that I have with my dad. We're a team. We're tight. So it's really cool to see that.
And by the way,
appreciate stuff like that.
May I jump in real quick and tell anybody who's inclined, and this is a podcast, so you're probably all going to be inclined, find our Facebook or our Instagram under Steel Tie Spirits. We also have Black Coral Rum. For Instagram, it's at Steel Tie Spirits, at Black Coral Rum. My personal IG is Spirits Evangelist. Ha ha ha. I do nothing.
He's doing a happy dance over here.
I forgot to do this. Take one, motherfuckers.
So that was just a cold open that we did for the last half hour.
I know, right? I love it.
That's awesome.
Man. Who cares?
Hey,
dude?
you guys are running out of drinks. Do you need me to make you something else while we're talking?
Yeah, if you don't mind shaking one up.
Put it on mine.
Thank you.
Dude,
You guys okay with the Hemingway daiquiri?
Whatever you want.
yeah, I mean, look, we're over here. We're sipping. We're
I
tasting.
feel like the world's luckiest guinea pig right now. It's like, oh, you want to experiment and do whatever? It's like,
Now, I'm just going to throw
go
a
ahead, send it.
quick
That's all I want.
quick snapshot I want
Send
to
it.
throw out right now. This is life, and I just want to explain the simple things of life right now, right? We worked all day, or we went to school all day, whatever you guys have been doing out there, right? We did it all day.
Yep.
We did it all day. We have people that are watching. We have people that are actively in our chat right now. But the cool thing is, whether you listen to this show live or whether you listen to it recorded,
On your way home, on your way to work,
on your way to work or your way to prison, whichever case.
or on your way to
it's
label
gonna be.
finders if you
But I want to tell you something. The cool thing about life is those small moments, right? Those small little clippets, right? Overall, we have 24 hours in a day. We have about 12 hours where we're 100%, right? Where we could do things.
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, right? The cool thing is, out of those 12 hours that we're active, right, we may have a very small limited time to do things that we truly enjoy. And I just want to say that I am so thankful for my life. I've been through a very tough year in my life, but this right now, this moment that I'm in sharing with you guys is the coolest thing, because you know what we're doing? We're not thinking about all the craziness in our life. We're not thinking about what's ahead. We're not thinking about what's in the past. We're thinking about the now. And that's the coolest thing about life, because time keeps going, right? And it's up to us and our minds to figure out how we're going to live our life as time goes on. And right now, in this moment, is really cool. We're here at Steel Tie Spirits in the Warehouse District in West Palm Beach, Florida. And I'm having a great conversation and some amazing drinks with two great guys. So
if you don't stop and enjoy your life, you will miss it, like Ferris Bueller said.
That's right.
It will fly right by.
It'll be gone.
I will. So enjoy it. Enjoy the moment, guys. Ride the wave. Enjoy the good things and positive things that are happening in your life. And have a good drink while you're doing it.
Oh, I said that. This moment more delicious.
I love it.
Right behind the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rod. I appreciate that, bro. I miss you, man. I would love to see you soon, bro. So thank you for tuning in, man. But I appreciate that. That's from the heart, bro. You know?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, check it out. We got
This is lit.
Yeah, we got
a lot of comments rolling through.
Peeps, dude.
Have we told you to shout out Mike Litteris yet?
Go for it. May as well. Yeah, that's your boy, bro.
Hey, shout out to Mike Litteris.
He got locked up last night.
Yeah, he got locked up last night.
He's in Gun Club.
Yeah.
His first name is Mike, last name is Litteris. He got locked up last night. Shout out to Mike, bro.
I hope he got locked up between some teeth. That's why I lock up Mike Ferris.
That's awesome.
Yes, Gloria, you are absolutely right. Live for the day. You got to live for the day. It's so important.
You know, I hate to come back to being serious, but, I don't know. Like, I was driving in the car the other day. It's like, I've resigned myself to the fact that you can't have everything in life, but you can make the most out of what you have. And I think that a lot of people don't, at least nowadays, get that message. I mean, some people, I wish I had this. I wish I had that. It's like, no, you have what you have, and take what you have and give it all that you have.
100%.
I know it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense.
No,
but you seize the moment. It's like, look, you have a certain amount of finances or a certain amount of,
brother.
Yeah.
Make the best out of the life you got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, it's interesting that you say that. The thing, like for me, with this podcast, right? I have, by the way, I was going to make the announcement on social media, but whatever, no big deal. I have right now, my bread and butter is my podcast, Apple, iTunes, and Spotify are my number
5 stars.
1 and 2. Rate us 5 stars.
That's amazing.
I have over 20,000 listeners right now on my podcast platform. I am so.
It's like a small city.
It has.
You get 10,000 more. You got the population of Key West.
You do.
And I'm so thankful for it, but it's what you want out of life, right? So if I didn't want my podcast to grow, it would not grow.
Remember?
It would not grow, right? So you got to want things in life. You really do. I'm not saying I'm the most successful guy in the world. I'm not, but there's a mindset that you have to have in order to be successful, or even not successful, just the things that you want to accomplish in your life. It's so important.
It begins and ends with being positive.
Yeah.
Always be positive.
You will attract whatever you give off.
You're right.
You want some success, you'll attract successful people who will help you.
Absolutely.
You want good, healthy relationships, don't bring fucking idiots around you.
Right.
Don't bring toxic relationships in your life. Exactly what you're talking about. And that's always.
Well, bro, the interesting thing about my podcast is that I have the opportunity to interview really interesting people, successful people that have really interesting success stories. And the amazing thing about it is I do it for myself, I do it for my listeners, but the secret to my recipe is that I'm inspired by it. So that actually motivates me to do really good things with my life, to do things that I want to do with my life that are positive and that are going to have a positive impact on others, right? So when I interview people, it's great for the show, but I'm doing it a lot for myself because I am so interested in these relationships that I build and these awesome things that I'm able to share, these stories I'm able to share. And that inspires me to make this show more successful. So for you guys out there that are tuning in, have a fucking drink and chill out and watch the show. And more importantly, think about the things that you really want to do in your life. Make those sacrifices and just go for it. Because tomorrow could be your last day and you don't know it. So just go for it. Do it. Am I right or am I right?
Oh, no, you're absolutely right.
Fucking right, bro. Wise guy's always right.
The other thing I would want to build on top of that is, for me at least, is once you achieve a certain amount of success, I think it's my father-in-law that said it, is a rising tide raises all boats. And he said that one day and it just like the light bulb went off. Once you become successful, once you enjoy the fruits of your labor, if you're in a position to help other people, there's nothing that's more satisfying than helping somebody else.
I love it.
For me, doing something like that, making a difference is really big. I mean, this podcast, really, it made a difference in my life. I mean, this is something I've been looking forward to all week. You called me, you're like, yeah, you want to do the podcast? I'm like, yeah, bro, of course. You got to drive to West Palm. I said, I still don't care. I said, you got to come up and do it. And this is a wonderful environment. And I'm grateful. I really am.
Oh, man, it's my pleasure to have you.
Great company. And this looks good.
Try that. That is a classic.
Let's try it out. Let's try it out.
Out of a metal straw.
Yeah, we recycle here.
Oh, this is awesome.
I got something to say about metal straws, but I'm going to hold back for a moment.
Makes you think of the 70s with the cocaine people.
This is an all-day drink.
You're something.
You can drink this all day.
See, this is the thing. When you go to a bar, you have a drink. Hey, you have a drink. It's good. It's not good because it's the basic shit. This is made from here.
Yeah, it is.
You're unbelievable. You're a true mixologist, dude. Tell us about this. What's the name of the drink?
So it's a Hemingway daiquiri. It was Ernest Hemingway's favorite
daiquiri.
drink. It was, pretty sure it was his personal recipe, with one exception. Whenever he was writing Old Man and the Sea, he was living for a while in Havana, fishing every day, getting all the inspiration for it, meeting all the old Cuban fishermen. And he and his wife, legendary drinkers. His nickname was Papa. Everybody who knows anything about Hemingway knows that they call him Papa. In fact, my very dear friends in Key West, I helped them a couple of years ago open the Papa's Pilar rum distillery down there. That was just about 6 months before I came up here to help to join forces with Ben and Clint. But that is his favorite cocktail. When he was in Cuba, Hemingway would order them as doubles, and so his nickname with all the bartenders in Havana was Papa Doble. Yeah. So his record, he would order them by the pitcher. His record was in one night 38 of them by himself, 38 doubles. And
Challenge accepted.
How'd that go?
It went so well that later his wife kicked his ass and came down to 42 in one night by herself. They didn't stay married long.
Yeah, I'm sure. I
can't even remember which one of his.
Did he end up at Alabama Jacks afterwards?
Oh, that's the one.
Alabama Jacks.
Alabama Jack. No, this was when they were in Havana, not in Key West.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It was long after he had moved away from Key West. She's the one, I forget her real first name, but her nickname.
I'm trying to pace myself.
Her nickname was Pilar, and that's why he named the boat that he fished off of in Havana while he was doing the book was Pilar, and that's why that rum brand is called Papa's Pilar.
This is like my new favorite thing.
And if anybody's going to Key West, check out the Papa's Pilar Distillery. It's down on Green Street.
Me, I love rum. I love whiskey. I love scotch. I like to have it on the rocks. Like my favorite whiskey ever. It's weird. I got it from Parks and Rec. It's a Lagavulin 16. I love that stuff.
Find your inspiration wherever it comes, man.
This is so good. Like I never thought. Like if you had this on a menu, I wouldn't look twice at it. Now this is like my new favorite thing.
Well, check it out. The reason I stuck this bottle right here, hopefully it's in frame. It's Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. It's an Italian liqueur distilled from cherries. So it's got a very, very interesting, completely unique flavor profile. And you only need a little bit of it. Make sure you look up your recipes online. What I do is an ounce of fresh grapefruit, a half ounce of lime juice, 3/4 ounce of simple syrup, and then a half ounce of the Luxardo with an ounce and a half of my white rum.
I got you on YouTube Live. Facebook Live too.
Hi, friends. Hi, face friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
We got Dana Shaw.
Jay, you need to catch up.
Jesus.
Oh my
It's so fucking
God!
good,
I know,
bro.
dude. He just poured the drink. He just poured the drink. You're almost done.
I haven't even got
I'm
through my
surprised
first.
you haven't had more than that yet.
Wait, you're
Cheers,
not even done
friends.
your first?
Cheers, friends. This is the black rum old fashioned. These guys have
Oh my
the.
God, dude.
These guys have the Hemingways.
This is so good. How are you not drinking this right?
We're too busy blabbing our jaws. Podcast, you're supposed to, chat a little.
Yeah, you got to chat a little.
That was, I'll tell you, that was.
You're drinking like fish, Dana.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be sitting there. I don't have to go anywhere for a while.
Okay, that's fine.
This is so
That's
good.
fine. We'll just
But you
hold
know
it up.
what I love about your logo? Looking at it on the glass and all the other stuff that you have. And even on that mural, I think you did that by design. His tie is a steel
Do you want to, let me tell you that, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Because it's
So yeah, get a shot of that. So check it out. So like I said, this building was put up in 1925 and 26, but the family that I work for has been in the area for almost 150 years. There's a picture over here. The Facebook camera can probably see a little bit of it. I'm sorry you guys can't, but I'll just tell you the story. The picture between the mirror and the humidor over there is of a man named Elias Markham. And in 1870, he moved his family here from Oklahoma to be one of the foremen on Henry Flagler's railroad track build. He had a guy that worked for him that was everybody's favorite coworker. He always had a flask. He would give you a little sip throughout the day, make you feel good. But the problem with him was that he was nipping off his own juice all the whole damn time. And so he had a lot of different jobs, but one of them he kept forgetting. And it was pretty important. It was to be sure that the railroad spike would sit appropriately, holding the track in place. And if that's not done right, the track comes loose and the train flips and everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Pretty important, right? So Elias Markham was the foreman. Didn't want to fire him. Everybody loved him. Just needed to help remind him how to do that one part of his job. So he got some twine and tied a railroad spike around his neck, hence Steel Tie Spirits.
Really? Check this out, Steel Tie Spirits.
Awesome.
Ladies, look at all the ladies popping in. How you doing?
Hi, girls.
Check it out.
Yeah, that's a spike.
Nice.
A local artist did that for us. It looks like it's been there for 100 and whatever years.
It's, I mean,
West
that
Palm
is
Beach,
like what
Florida.
a mural looks like.
Steel Tie Spirits
Everybody always asks if it's
Distillery.
finished.
That's the science lab
Well, I mean,
with
the
booze
face,
right there.
that
Look
can
at
be
that.
any railroad.
So cool, right?
Yeah.
I
So
think
the
that's
thing
the
is,
whole
because
point.
the
We're
guy.
doing a live. Hold that real quick. I just
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
I
let
got
everybody
you,
know
I
what's
got
up. We're doing a live podcast right now. I'm on YouTube. I put the link over there. Guy Think Podcast. We're blowing up right now. We got so many people that are watching.
Oh, beautiful.
We're giving away a free bottle of rum just for fun. But check it out. It's going to be a good time tonight. I put the link there. Just click on the link, and you could actually watch the live show.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good time. Maybe you can win a free bottle of rum.
All right, I just have to
Pretty
say,
easy.
I like to pay attention to detail. Jesse Cohen, it's like either a mugshot and a passport photo, or like two passport photos together. Like that's his look. I mean, this guy looks like a mugshot.
Yeah,
passport photo.
Jesse was on the show a couple of weeks ago.
What do you mean he was on the show? Oh yeah, that's right.
Jesse was on the show. Jesse, my boy. What's up, Jesse? Shout out, brother.
And
how we doing?
Janelle Lee, shout out. Victoria Bronfman and Gabriella Lauria.
All right,
They're
shout
all
out,
watching.
girls. Cool.
We love
so
you
look,
guys.
girls, if you like booze, if you like to drink, if you like to go out and have a good time, we're in West Palm Beach, Florida, in the Warehouse District at Steel Tie Spirits Distillery. They have Black Coral rum here. It's amazing rum
And Steel Tie vodka.
and Steel Tie.
By the way, I was
vodka.
going to try it. Why don't we sweeten the deal?
So check this out. Check this out. Check this out. This drink right here is a Hemingway Daiquiri. Unfucking believable. I've never had a drink like this in my life. It's really good. Check us out at GuyThinkPodcast.com. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. We interview people that are very interesting.
Yeah.
John Moore is very interesting.
You look like the mural behind you. This looks like regal. Like it looks really good.
Bro, listen, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm from royalty in Italy, dude. I don't know if you knew this. Yeah. Absolutely. Dana Shore.
I'm not from royalty.
Dana Shore.
What?
Can I say it?
Yeah, sure.
Your credentials, can I round them off real quick? Because
Go
I'm always
ahead.
impressed by your credentials.
Go ahead.
Former cop, not only in Colorado, but Miami.
Oh, my
This
Lord.
man right here.
Seen some business.
That's a tough dude right there. Love the guy, nice guy, deadly, very deadly. Love this guy. He is
I'll
deadly.
tell you, I don't have a lot of money, but what I do have, a very particular set of skills.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, check
I
this
love
out.
that. Like I tell you, that's my favorite movie.
Check out that
franchise
straw. That is a steel straw. Steel. It's made of steel. You know what they did with steel straws in the 70s and 80s?
What they do?
Think about it. Just think about it.
Steel straws in the
Well, they
70s?
didn't talk a lot, whatever it was.
Would they freebase heroin? The steel straws.
Freeway Ricky.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you do coke.
You ever see the movie Blow?
No.
What?
Well, there's
You
the
never
movie
saw the movie Blow?
There's the movie Blow,
Oh,
and
my
then there's
God.
the movie I saw Snatch. That was good.
Snatch is good.
But it's not about
Snatch is good.
It's not about blow.
Oh, the movie's pretty good too.
Yeah. So many good movies. So
What you doing over there,
I'm
buddy?
making a little something. This is one of my own recipes. It's a derivative of a Paloma. If anybody knows anything about a Paloma, it is the most, you know.
Yes, you love my shirt. Thank you,
Yeah,
Kathy.
guy thing.
Listen, I got it from a very special woman. that I love.
So this is like one of a kind. So this is
This
like,
cocktail I'm doing?
yeah. What you making?
Well, it's, see, here's the magic of
Hey,
cocktail.
Alex said he's bringing his biker crew here.
To bring it.
Are they en route now?
I don't think so. They will be.
Yeah.
So
Then again, you never know.
You never know.
Just a little note for cocktail.
I love he's got his own dedicated parking lot out there. I love that.
It's
Dedicated
we share the
parking
parking lot with the brewery with Steam Horse.
Awesome, man.
So here's the thing about cocktails, and I've just been such a nerd about cocktails for so long that you can take any basic classic recipe, put one little modifier on it, and all of a sudden it's your own. And that is the magic of craft cocktail bars, is that you get there in front of them, you watch them do some magic, and sometimes it's their own original recipe for a drink. Sometimes it's an actual classic.
I love
Sometimes
how
it's-
he's using that thing so it doesn't splash. I love the attention to detail. It's just killing me.
It's
Yeah, I
attention
love
to
it.
detail.
So will you guys
Wow.
drink that for me?
So what is this called?
So I got
I mean, I can name it now.
yeah, name it now.
Let's call it the guy thing.
I love it.
First it was
I
a
am
beer,
so
and now. Oh, by the way, all right, we'll talk about that in a second. Let me have a
Fuck,
sip.
that is a good.
This is called a guy thing. And what's in a guy thing?
Fresh grapefruit, fresh lime, a little bit of simple syrup, rhubarb bitters, and steel tie vodka.
What the fuck?
You can drink that one too.
Can I say something right now? I took one sip. You know what this reminded me of? Christmas.
It does. You can drink it during the holidays.
I know, and here's why, because at
It
Christmas
reminded me of
time,
Christmas.
so there's rhubarb bitters in there. There's a company called Fee Brothers, Fee. They make all kinds of really great bitters. They have chocolate bitters, they have walnut, they have lots of different kind of fruit bitters, and they have original aromatic cocktail bitters. They barrel age them. They're super clever. They've been around since way before Prohibition. And I think the reason why you feel like that reminds you of Christmas is because like strawberry rhubarb pie around a Christmas dinner table, it's in this drink.
Unbelievable.
All
They
I
hit
did
us
was
thoughts.
Good. I love this.
All I did was hit.
I thought like Scotch was my go-to. This is
unreal.
I just need to come up to West Palm and just drink here.
To this
Get a-
place.
Oh, it's so much.
Don't you
Guys,
think?
we are super lucky.
Don't you think
we are
Fort
super
Lauderdale
lucky right
changed to
now?
let me have a cocktail bar so we can do these for everybody?
Dude, we are super lucky right now that we're here and this place is officially closed right now, but we're here doing the podcast. And it's so cool to have that, that intimate
Yeah.
situation.
That's why we wanted to do it after hours. We are open, by the way, Thursday through Sunday. We open up at noon.
This is three dudes in a bar. This is classic a guy thing.
This is it. This is called a guy thing. I'm going to tell you something else about a guy thing. A couple of weeks ago, I was at, and this man right here, we worked it out. We worked it out, but he threw it down for me. I had an agreement with Robot Brewing Company to brew my own beer. I personally went to the brewery. I brewed my own beer. We named it a Guy Think Podcast beer, and we put Black Coral rum in the Guy Think Podcast beer, and it was a rum stout. It was unbelievable.
Love that.
It was unbelievable.
Robot does some beautiful brewing. There's so many great craft brewers all around the country. It took up until like 2011 to get the count of breweries in America back up to pre-prohibition level. And now that I don't want to ever describe it as easy because it's all art. But Robot's doing great work. Steam Horse and Tequesta. There's one called Nobo. It's a couple of brothers out of Boynton.
We played softball against them.
Actually,
Sailfish
Point
is-
Beach is a very big.
They've got a lot of craft brewers. Sailfish is up in
It's
Fort
like the
Pierce.
brewery district. Right?
South Florida's got a huge wealth of great craft brewers, and we have a relationship with a lot of them. We did a thing that's going to get released out of here. We only made 12 barrels of this new kind of rum. It is a double barrel spice rum. So what we did was we took our spice rum and put it back into a new barrel for another year and a half. So usually you would barrel age and then infuse it with the spices, unless you're Captain Morgan. Everybody know where Captain Morgan gets their fucking spices from? Because it ain't from a spice rack.
No, go ahead. Say it.
It's from DuPont,
Oh.
the company that gave the world Kevlar and Agent Orange.
Hey, no, look, I have respect for Kevlar. I like Kevlar.
Well, as a cop, yeah,
Yeah.
but you don't want it in your cocktail.
You don't want to sip on it.
That's where your hangover comes from because your body can't metabolize that. I haven't done research on all of them, but most of the commercial, big, macro, international spice rum brands are using like heavily pesticide-laden, GMO, cheap.
Alex said Captain Morgan just went down the toilet bowl.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to talk shit about a brand. Well, I am about that one because I just really don't want the world to have a hangover anymore when the alternative is what we do. We just infuse it. We got more than a dozen Florida-grown botanicals. Why don't you pick one of them and drink it? Or at least give it to
Oh boy.
Who's watching?
No, Peter, one of the guys who plays softball with us, said, "Hey, hi Joe." I said, "I've been holding the phone a long time." I said, "It's Dana," and you're like, "Oh,
And
You may as well just switch back and forth every few minutes.
That's funny. Anyway, I mean, that's the whole thing about our brand is that everything's all natural. Whenever possible, it comes from Florida farms. Ben distills these products at a lower temperature to keep methanol out. You know what methanol is?
I do.
Yeah,
It's rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
It will bind with your optic nerve and give you a throbbing marching band headache the next day. None of that in here. I mean,
Well, you guys don't distill, right?
Yeah, we do. It's still right there.
I thought you guys didn't distill.
That's our whole thing. We're the only licensed actual distillery in Palm Beach County.
All right, correct me if I'm
We've
wrong.
been in Riviera Beach in a 500-gallon still that Ben built with his own two hands 7 years ago. There are a bunch of other brands that are local that some of them make really, really yummy juice, but they're having somebody else distill it for them and then they work with it after
Gotcha.
to make some really yummy stuff. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm being a butthole. Whistle Pig and High West are two of my favorite whiskey brands, and they still haven't released their own distillate yet because they got going by sourcing. Hang on, let me just get through a note on that. Sourcing is a totally fine thing. I don't ever want to sound like I'm crapping on it. But we're the only actual distillery, and there are companies that call themselves something or another distilling. And I have a little quarrel with the language of that. Just like, can you call yourself a bakery if you don't have an oven?
No.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be a dick. I just semantically,
Makes sense.
we're called Steel Tie Spirits. We don't have to put Steel Tie Distilling in it, but we do.
Right.
Ben is such a genius. I don't want anybody else making my booze for me. It's really unbelievable how damn good he is at this.
And he's talking.
Put it on. I'm sorry.
He's sorry. Stop sending love notes to Peter.
I just downloaded a cat app on your phone.
A cat app on your phone.
Terrible.
And
Get it,
What podcast? He's talking. He's
At
blowing his
least-
heart out about rum over here, and you downloading cat apps? What's the matter with you?
At least download porn, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Show me after we're done when this shit stops rolling.
Yeah, these people like it.
Yeah, well, God bless. It's a guy thing.
It's a guy thing.
Porn is a guy
So-
thing. And a girl thing. Thank God it's also.
So can I comment or am I just here to hold the phone?
We're gonna go back and forth.
Okay.
It's a conversation.
Comment with
Do
your
you want me
mouth.
to, here, let me,
Comment with your mouth. Comment with your mouth. You don't have to type anything. Just respond.
Oh, no, I typed
verbally. I could
I
imagine.
typed a whole bunch of shit on your phone.
I'm sure you did.
I called Peter a hoe. I sent him a cat emoji.
You're terrible.
Wonderful.
so we got some new friends. Dawn LaFlame is watching. Hi,
What's up, Dawn? Love you, Dawn.
Charlie,
love Dawn.
Charlie, you got a really cool ass looking last name. I don't want to fuck it up by saying it out loud.
Was it?
Estrelio, but it's.
Sounds good.
I'm sure it's close enough.
That's
I mean,
right. That's right.
I love you. I hate that I might have fucked up your name. Thank you for being here with us.
Guys, we're broadcasting not only YouTube Live, but Facebook Live. Just for fun. Facebook Live just for fun. YouTube Live. YouTube Live is serious. We're very serious on YouTube Live.
We are living in the year 3000. We are Facebook Live.
I thought we were living in a material world.
And I'm a material girl.
God bless you, sir.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's fucking great, man. Look, I don't even know which one at this point. They're both so good.
This is
I'm
the
kind of like,
Hemingway, and then the other
yeah, I
one.
get it.
The other one is, I think you give him the Hemingway and you drink the guy thing.
No, I'm gonna drink both of them.
All right, God bless.
Yeah,
One
you
for
just
each lip.
both of them, yeah.
One for each
I'm
lip.
enjoying them because they're fucking both
They
good.
are.
And
Right.
they're-
Good.
I'm gonna mess with Hemingway right now. I think I got time because that's a nice cube right there.
By the way, I
You
love
have to go
the framing of this right now because over your shoulder is my buddy old Spike.
Dude,
Yeah, he's looking pretty dope.
guy, anybody wants a tea, a Guy Thing podcast, hit me up.
You got them for sale on the web?
Not yet, but I'll do personal sales with Guy
Sweet,
Thing.
sweet.
We'll get it.
Anybody wants to buy anything Steel Tie, man? They got a whole.
Check that out. Check out those products right there.
I like
Yeah.
that bookcase.
The bookcase was built out. That's locally sourced Pecky Cypress. Ben built all that. Those books are all, I don't know where he got them. They're all 100 years old. If you can see kind of in the middle,
And those are actual books.
they are. It's not like the Haunted Mansion where you pull one and some shit slides open, although that would be dope.
I see some Webster up there.
You got a whole radio.
I see a Webster dictionary.
So
and
to the left of the radio, you see the urn?
Yeah.
That's Quince Ashes. That's our founder's
I
ash.
see some encyclopedia.
Yeah, he's here watching right over. Did a really cool thing
That's
happen.
pretty cool.
The week before he passed away, he was. I'm gonna give one of you guys.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Here, let me just.
I got you.
No.
He was right over here. We had
I like being camera bitch.
bar full of people, tastings of pouring people a cocktail, and I came over here. I'm standing right here. I must have been, get somebody a bottle of wine, and I high-fived him, and I came back. 6 days later, he passed away, and the day after he passed away, this couple came in who had been here the day of that high-five moment, and I was telling everybody, look, whatever it is to draw that day goes to the family for the, benefit of whatever you need to take care of for his final ceremonies and all that. And so this lady said, I have a picture from last week of you two.
Really?
And I was like, what do you mean? She snapped off a picture of me high-fiving Clint. Right here, it was one of the last pictures that I'm aware of that anybody took when he passed away. And it's just chilling. That picture will always be like near and dear to me. By the way, was you mind like getting the shot? Can you walk over there?
Yeah, Dana's gonna do. Guys, Dana's doing a quick walk. You guys go for a walk. I'm gonna stay on camera for my YouTube peeps.
This is my cardio for the day.
Guys, right now, I'm just gonna give you a little heads up of what's going on right now. A little play-by-play action. It's like watching a ball game right now, and they're, while the game is going on, they got the broadcaster on. So I'm your broadcaster right now. But Dana Shaw and John Moore right now, they're doing a Facebook Live video of a vest of, hey, what's that vest about?
Yeah.
I need the history on that vest real quick.
That belonged to Clint. That was his.
Clint. So Clint
Etheridge,
the father
of the company, the father of the,
Clint Etheridge,
Ben, who's our head distiller,
created this beautiful distillery.
Yeah.
That's his vest right there.
That's his vest from his motorcycle club.
He was in a motorcycle crew.
Sure, but VFW based, it's called Nam Nights. Nam as in Vietnam.
Okay,
and,
Vietnam veterans.
And they basically just raise money to do a bunch of really good community works out of this VFW that's like 2 blocks away. It's just such a good man. I mean, there's no way to trumpet enough how much good this company looks forward to doing. And as we grow, we're going to reach out and do a whole lot more. We're actually creating a charitable foundation in Clint's name so that in addition to working with local veterans groups, we can do statewide as we grow out into other states in the South. We'll do, veterans charities, we'll do local as well as other states. First responders, because he was head of the SWAT team.
He was head of the SWAT team.
He retired lieutenant, Palm Beach County Sheriff's. He ran the Palm Beach SWAT team for 33 years.
Wow.
He was.
What a great dude.
He was a bone-chilling man.
What a great dude, man.
What he accomplished, the lives he saved, the lives he influenced. He wrote half the policy on how they run the SWAT team now.
Wow.
It's just astounding.
Was this, which SWAT team was he with?
Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach County SWAT.
So, legitimately, when you talk about what's local, what is the definition of local? Like, some people go, it's Florida local. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you and I met in a liquor store when I was doing a tasting.
I want to tell the listeners about that story.
We'll get to it in a second, but whenever I do tastings, I always say, would you like to try some handmade local rum and vodka? And people go, how local is local? And I'll say, West Palm. And usually I'm like in Jupiter or Lantana or like within 20 miles of here. And I'm like, God, I didn't realize we had a distillery that local. So the family's been here almost 150 years. Next year will be the 150th anniversary of when Elias Markham got his family here from Oklahoma. Legit, these are locals. I'm from Key West. That's pretty South Florida. Yeah. I mean, we use all of our ingredients whenever possible come from Florida farms. So just like all of it.
No, you guys,
we're as local as local could be.
As local as local could be, and that's the cool thing about it. Local. Having that is, this guy's get the hiccups. Sorry, fast, dude. This guy's. I'm gonna have to get this fucking guy an Uber. We got an Uber, a Lyft. Anybody listeners who have Uber, a Lyft at a local?
Come on over, 16, 15 player.
Fine.
Steel Tie Spirits.
If you want to drive into Plantation, I'll give you a bottle of rum.
There you go. That's good incentive right there. So me and this fine gentleman right here, we met. I was living in Lake Worth at the time. I had a party coming up to my home, and I wanted to get some rum. And typically, I'm a Captain Morgan guy, so I went to the Captain Morgan. So I walk in, and I see this guy's got his display out, the table out.
You look a lot like this, with this very little ice bucket here.
I am very pro taste tester. You're in there. You got the table. You got the table. You got the samples.
People are pro free sample.
I'm in. I'll be there. But the cool thing is that typically I do the taste. All right, yeah, tastes good. See you later. I don't know. Me and John connected. We started talking. And he said, "Hey, would you like to try a local handmade rum here in West Palm Beach, Florida?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." I was actually coming here today to buy some Captain Morgan rum, so. Yeah, let me try yours out. I've never had Black Coral before. And before you know it, John pours me a couple of different drinks. I drink. I'm like, wow, this is really good. He's like, $1 goes to veterans from your purchase. I'm like, all right, cool. Love the veterans. Much respect. Love you guys. And we start talking, and next thing you know, he knows the people I know. Black Coral Rum and Death and Glory Bar are friends. And I'm like, Death and Glory Bar was on my podcast. This is so cool. I think you should come on the podcast. And I don't invite just anybody on my podcast. Like, I invite interesting people, inspiring people, people that I know that I could have a good time with on the show. My listeners will enjoy. And I'm like, man, everybody's going to love John. I'm like, right in my mind, what's going on? While I'm talking to you, having the conversation, getting to know you, in my mind, the other little voice is going, get him, get him, get him, get him. So, dude.
Pretty quick, he emails me a questionnaire. And this is my first time being on a podcast. And I thought, as soon as I saw the questionnaire, I was like, this guy's not fucking around. It's not just like showing up, being an idiot and talking. I subscribed to a bunch of different podcasts, but I didn't know what it was all about until I see this. And I'm like, Joe knows what he's doing, dude. He's prepared. He's not going to just have some, I don't know, round table discussion that's going to get messy or whatever. It's organized and it's intelligent. And I think that's what sets the Guy Think podcast apart from a lot of the other ones, is that it's got a purpose. It's not drunken idiots sitting around being like, I worry.
Except for this episode.
I don't know. I think we were pretty educational on this one.
There's 3 idiots, only one's drunk.
No, I'm good. Just me. I'm what you call an advanced drinker. My tolerance is pretty high.
Well, I'm
a old
distillery general manager. You don't think I can hold a cocktail on me?
Local town drunk? I don't know.
I don't know if I want that.
Gentleman, you
Sorry.
have a message.
Huh?
You might want to check your phone. You got a message from somebody.
Yeah, but I'm live right now, so it doesn't matter.
All right, doesn't matter. So Melissa from Bumble, you've been put on the back burner because
Melissa.
I got Bumble?
Yeah, you did.
I got Bumble. I'm on Bumble, by the way.
Me
So
too.
funny. You're on Bumble too?
So fairly recently.
Had a Guy Think podcast.
I'm fairly recently single as well.
Yeah.
How about them drinks?
How about them Bumble girls?
So what do you think? Let's
You want to talk about?
Yeah, let's
get off topic.
Let's get off topic for a second. Bumble. Let's talk about online dating for a second, because I just started popping in there just to check it out. I'm doing like a little peek. I'm doing the old little, let me open this door and see what's in this room kind of
testing
thing.
the waters.
And I'm peeking. I'm doing lots of peeking right now.
Yeah.
I heard a really interesting podcast. It was one of the NPR ones. I think it's called How I Built This. And they interviewed the lady who created Bumble. She happens to also be co-founder of Tinder.
Really?
And fascinating.
She's
Look that shit up and get that episode off of How I Built This by NPR. And I forget her name. I hate that I did, but she's fascinating. All of those are on the How I Built This. They interview the Warby Parker people whose glasses I'm wearing right now. Anyway, like people whose businesses changed the world and how they got to that place. Mm-hmm. And this woman was talking about how Tinder became so lascivious, basically. I don't want to put words in her mouth or anything else other than cocktails. But sorry. I want to make her world as delicious as possible too. Anyway, so like everything kind of went sideways for her in a way that I'll let her describe on that episode if you want to look it up. But she went off looking for her next adventure, and she was kind of a natural entrepreneur, and she knew some VC people and venture capital, not Viet Cong.
damn Viet Cong.
Damn Viet Cong.
She knew some Viet Cong.
See him over here in them trees.
Viet Cong didn't do nothing to me.
Charlie don't surf. I don't know if you read this. Anyway, off the rails. So one of the VC folks that she knew, took a look at it and offered her a way of thinking that made her come back to, like, she didn't originally want to do dating anymore in the apps or whatever she was going to create next. And he said, I think you have an opportunity to do it better and more driven toward women. And so Bumble, the really cool thing about Bumble is that the woman has to connect or contact and say something to the man first. So if you both swipe right and connect positively with each other, the woman has 24 hours to say something to the man on Bumble.
24 hours.
And after that, the match goes away.
Dan, how many hours?
24 hours.
24 hours.
And
It's like Jack Bauer. It's like, look, you got 24 hours.
nowhere near as exciting, because sometimes 23 hours elapse and you're like, nothing has happened. So in that way, nothing like Jack Bauer. Yeah, that poor guy's been asleep for a day and a half, and then shoot.
What do you think about it? Like your experience so far? How long you been on Bumble for?
Well, I met the woman I just broke up with on Bumble, and we were together for a year.
Hi.
No, she's great.
Success story.
There is nothing wrong with her. It just like long term wasn't going to be a thing.
Yeah.
The woman I just broke up with, I met her on Bumble.
And she was wonderful. She is wonderful. She's a really solid mom. She's a doctor. She's super intelligent and very interesting. And just sometimes you don't match. Now, here's my thing about relationships. If we're lucky, every relationship we ever have, romantically speaking, except one, all except one, are going to fail. And if we're smart motherfuckers, which hopefully we are, we take those failures, learn something from it, and use them as a series of lessons to bring us to the relationship that lasts the longest and takes us to the end of the road.
That's a true statement.
100%.
100%.
Yep.
So Tinder, if you want to get laid, pretty fucking dope. When I was living in Key West for the last...
Best promo for Tinder ever.
Yeah.
If you want to get laid, it's pretty
But it's not like I am the first one to crack that technology. Everybody knows. So when I used to be married, and when I first got separated from my wife and it was clear we weren't going to be married anymore, my buddy Tim Rabier, who I love dearly, has a bunch of great bars in Key West. Check out Tim. Go to General Horseplay, go to Key West Tiki House, Mary Ellen's in Key West, a bunch of dope bars. He's a dear friend, and he and I were drunk as shit one night, and he said, "You should get on Tinder." And I said, "Okay." And pretty quick, the first lady that hit me up on Tinder was coming to Key West on vacation from Michigan with her husband who likes to watch her fuck other dudes.
Whoa!
More to the point, likes to watch other dudes fuck her.
Oh, dude.
It's I think the word is cuckold.
No.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
But it ain't voyeur is a dude through the window.
It's a dude through the window. You're right.
This guy is sitting in a corner punching his clown while I'm banging his wife. That's not, we didn't do that. I never even met them. But like she goes, I don't know if that's something you're into, but you look like whatever I had in my
So basically, you fuck her while he watches.
That's right. And so I said, and I never met them. Let me be clear. I'm not really sure how I feel about an audience, although I'm not really closed off to anything. 46 years old, totally single.
Yeah.
And you fuck a lot of times if you do it right. But anyway.
So we got a comment. Hats off to John. Very intelligent, old school values, and brings it on as a straight shooter.
Is she on Tinder?
Is that
it a shit?
Is that a single
All
hire?
right, never mind.
Nah, it's a fellow guy. But
Oh, so
giving you some props, dude.
Well, I appreciate that. No matter what your gender or who you are, or what your pronoun.
Dude, we're over here drinking fucking guy thing motherfucking podcast.
Sorry.
Fucking jungle juice right here.
Not that I don't want to touch
It's a guy thing cocktails. Ain't jungle juice. Jungle juice is when idiots.
Jungle
do
juice is like
14
Four Loko, bro.
No, jungle
That
juice
was
is
the first thing
when
that popped in my head.
Yeah,
jungle juice is when you don't know what you're doing in cocktails, and you just dump a bunch of shit into a jug, shake it up, and give it to everybody in the party.
That's college. Right there. That's wonderful.
Yeah, hunch punch, jungle juice, nightmares in a glass. But these,
I had some jungle juice in New Orleans a few years ago.
and then you poop your pants later that day.
We were at what I like to call it in New Orleans, bayou butt. I had some bayou butt.
You had swamp ass.
Basically,
Swamp
yeah.
ass is better.
Swamp ass or bayou butt. That's when you mix crawfish, jambalaya, and some grenades.
I love
Called
jambalaya.
Bayou butt. That's what I had.
Let me tell you,
It was nasty.
there is a product. There's a product.
Sorry, girls. Girls, I just want to
But-
say
but
I'm
hold on.
sorry. I know you love my face, and it's cute. I know it's cute.
But his
I'm
ass.
sorry, I didn't mean to talk about Bayou butt. All right, go ahead.
There's a product you can get at like Target and probably Walmart, and it's called Boudreaux's butt paste. Dr. Boudreaux was the athletic trainer at LSU for the football team.
Really?
And they got some swamp ass, and he came up with this grown-up version of Desitin that helps pretty good if you ever get into that problem. So
Like
check it
Gold
out.
Bomb.
But it's a paste, not a powder.
I prefer starch.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the cocktails.
Powder.
So where did this conversation?
I know we're going way.
No,
up.
we were doing the online dating thing, the Bumble.
Yeah.
So I got
So
you're telling me
Bumble's
while
really
we were
great.
live that I got a message from a
You
girl
did.
on Bumble.
You did. Her name was Melissa.
Probably still is.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, babe.
I'm going to put you on the spot. It's like,
Actually, I'm recording the camera right now. Melissa, what's up?
Like, so my
Yeah.
show me.
So did you see what?
I mean, I didn't see the whole picture.
Did you see what she wrote?
No, it's just the notification.
That was a little
You got it.
notification. Yo, I'm getting hit up on Bumble. Listen, to all the chicks that are watching live right now, single, and I'm putting myself out there.
HIV negative.
For now.
Big. That's big.
For now.
For now. Jesus. That's terrible.
Wrap that rascal. I digress. Anyway, so In the world of online dating, I like how Bumble does it because it empowers the women in a world that doesn't really very well empower women.
Sorry.
No, I think Bumble is better than Tinder because if you're into like the serious, you want to meet somebody nice, you do the Bumble thing.
Matches
And
got a whole lot of
You do Match, you don't do Bumble.
Match, Bumble, Tinder.
No, because if the girl's reaching out to you first, the odds are it's probably going to be a positive situation.
Honestly, the way to boil it down is that Bumble, they don't get anywhere near as many dick pics. And that's not what a woman wants. Dudes, stop sending pictures of your penis to women that you've never met.
Yeah, dude.
If you
gotta be honest, penis it's kind of ugly, dude.
You ever heard the phrase
boobs and butts on a woman are fucking hot.
Have you ever heard the phrase?
Penis is no good.
Have you ever heard the phrase "cute as a dick"? No, you have not.
No.
And that is why you should never send a dick.
Yeah. Sorry. Hey, look, I love my junk, but it ain't pretty.
Yeah, that's why you keep it zipped.
Zip that shit. Zip it.
Don't you kind of feel bad for women?
Zip it.
Lock it and put it in your pocket.
Pop, lock it, and zip it.
I can dig that. Don't you feel bad for women though that it's the last thing they find out about a dude before they sleep with him? I kind of feel like that's unjust.
You said like what the dick looks like?
What they're packing. Like if a woman is, whether you meet them 10 minutes before or you've been dating them for however long, a month or two before you go to knock it out, the last thing you're going to know about a dude, and vice versa, by the way, the last thing we really truly know about a woman is what they have down below. And
be like the Amazon.
But there's two sides to that story. Okay.
Yeah, one's a penis, one's a vagina.
Well, we get that part. But
right.
Side A is you do the right thing. You take the time to get to know the chick. She gets to know you, and then you get in there, and then it doesn't.
Hopefully, the chemistry is good.
The chemistry is good.
But that's the thing; it's based on hope.
But then if you flip it, and then you kind of like going really quick, and you kind of like the girl, and she kind of likes you, but you're not
there's
quite
sex
there
chemistry.
yet. And then there's sex chemistry. But then you see each other's junk, and you're kind of like, oh.
His penis is a Jenga piece.
This thing's going to the left. I don't understand that. It's going up
worse,
there.
a Tetris
it's
piece.
Going fucking this way and this way. Crazy, right? Look, the guy's dick looks like an Allen wrench. There's something wrong.
If it looks like it came out of Tetris.
The girl's vagina, I don't know, looks like a papaya. I mean, there's problems.
Papaya
right?
vagina.
But then if you take the time,
I would drink that drink.
You like the girl and she likes you and you take the time, then I don't think it really matters what it looks like.
But let me tell you this, going back to what we were talking about earlier.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm throwing fruits and fucking tools out there, but I'm trying
But to add to your,
here's the thing: when a man loves a woman, there's a socket. You got to put it in a socket. Yeah, you ever seen Practical Jokers?
I love that show.
Dude.
Practical Jokers. Shout out. Practical Jokers. Oh, by the way, I did the analytics for my podcast. Yeah. All the guys that are on that show in Practical Jokers, they actually listen to my podcast.
Do they?
What's up?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't fuck
I was going to say.
Oh, you dick bastard. So, like, to go forward with, like, the point you made just a little bit ago about surrounding yourself.
I'm going to try.
No.
Well,
I'm not selfish.
You know, like, there you go. So, to follow through with the point we were talking
I don't know
about,
what it's looking at.
it's going to look like a cocktail.
Both of you guys, not me. But
Well, I mean, you got this looking at you.
we got coverage.
yeah,
We got coverage.
So to follow through with the point we were making a while ago about if you surround yourself with positive people and positive cocktails, positive things can happen to you a lot more easily.
100%.
So I think the same can be said of online dating. If you really
I'm
want
going to
to
ask you a real question.
bring it.
So, all right, we all go through things in our life, right? Positive, negative, amazing stuff that we feel, holy cow, like this is the greatest moment of my life, and the lowest moment of my life, right? But what gets an individual to positive thinking all the time? What gets you to that level? So for you, I want to ask you, because you're a positive guy. Every time I've met you and we've interacted and we spoke, even through text or call, super positive. But what has brought you to that positive thinking?
Being exposed to an enormous amount of negativity.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some people that are super close to me
Yeah.
to this day that sometimes they just can't help but just bitch. One of my
Can
best.
you pull that microphone closer to you?
Yeah. Sometimes they.
Cool.
Sorry. Sometimes people just can't help but bitch. Now, like one of my best friends in the world. She's a single mom and a dear friend, and we briefly dated, and she was in Key West, and is one of my closest favorite people. And we talked a lot over the last few days, and she's been dealing with some family stuff. that's super negative, and it's not her fault. And she's not a negative person. She's brilliant and inspired, and just one of these people who, if you gave her the right tools, would change the world. I fully believe it. But there are other people who don't really have it in them to be that kind of a positive thing until something else happens to them. So I was telling her, she apologized for bitching, for like going through this huge vent. And I went, dude, I'll take a vent every time. But as soon as you call 12 people and vent, then all you're doing is reliving the negativity.
Yeah.
All you're doing is reliving the negativity rather than.
Yeah, it's a sewing party, bro.
It's
Yeah.
right. So if,
I'm at
if
the
what you
fucking
do,
laundromat. You know what I'm saying?
and you meet a
Wash women.
stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're somebody who needs to vent to one or two people, like, I'll take that every day. But if I recognize that, okay, you've told everybody in the room one at a time, and now it's my turn, I'm gonna shut you down. Because what I want to do is retrain your aim down the muzzle at something positive. Get that bullshit into your rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Move past it. My mom died 15 years ago on the 4th of July, and
That's my birthday.
The 4th of July?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
And people go, oh my God, that must suck for you. And I'm like, no. The fireworks are either for her or from her.
Yeah.
I like that thing.
Pick one. They're both brilliant, and they both remind me of how much my mother loved me and how
That's
much I love
beautiful,
her.
man. God
Yeah.
rest her soul.
God bless her.
God rest her.
Emily Ann.
Absolutely.
And by the way, my friend Alex Dupuy let me come to a pop-up bar at her brand new place called Ravish Kitchen in Lantana Lake Worth, right across the street from Oceano Kitchen. Super cool little place. And we did a pop-up Steel Tie and Black Coral menu on the 4th of July, and we had a drink named for my mom. It was,
Sweet, man. What was it called?
My mom's from Chattanooga, and so she loved like peach tea.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a vodka infused peach tea riff with some like apple cider in it and some cool shit. And we called it Emily Ann's Tenacious Tea.
Sweet.
I like
Love
And,
it.
and it was a
Love
brilliant cocktail. But
Love
like
it.
on the day of my 15 years it's been since my mom ran away to the other side of the rainbow, what are you going to do, be a mope? No. You remember the best way you can. You tell the best stories. You don't talk about how fucked up and sad you are X years later.
Yeah.
You celebrate. You don't get defeated.
Mhm.
Otherwise, the rest of your life is going to be bullshit.
Yep.
And if you put the bad in the rearview mirror, somebody once a long time ago put it the best, and I just love to repeat this. I don't even remember what it was. If you spend too much time staring at a closed door, you'll never realize how many doors are opening up behind you. Stand up and turn around.
Yeah.
Stand up and turn around. Find something good in your life. Don't get so down and defeated. If you feel like you just been in the shadows too long, go find the sunshine. Get to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Do something good.
I'm with you on
It's a
that,
great
brother.
message.
I'm with you. I think it's a beautiful message, man.
That's the only way to live life.
God bless your mother, brother.
Thank
God
you.
bless her.
Thank you,
Seriously.
brother.
Yeah. I mean
She's-
that from the bottom of my
We're
heart.
pretty sure that year she stopped off in Atlanta because she was a big Braves fan.
Mhm.
And they had like a crazy 17-game winning streak right after she died.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Remember
I'm a
that
huge
shit?
baseball fan.
Yeah.
Yes, 17-game
Yeah.
winning streak. It
It
was
was
unreal.
something bananas. And my
Yeah, they were
aunts and I-
unreal. They were unstoppable.
My mom's sisters and I are like, that fucking woman's in Atlanta. You just turn the field. That was
That's so
hilarious.
cool, man.
Anyway,
So that for you, that's that motivating drive to be
Absolutely.
positive, right? Okay,
You
I
can't-
love it.
you look around this room, look around this building, look at the business model that we got, the family that I have the honor to be able to work with.
Yeah.
There's nothing more important than family. And if
Yeah.
you're going to build a business and a brand, do it with that in mind. Have charity at the heart of it. Have positivity at the heart of it. We're not here to just sell you something that's new and different and has our logos on it. We got a message. We got a purpose behind the brand, and
Yeah.
it's all about positivity.
Mhm.
And that's what's up.
I'm all about positivity. I live my life about positivity.
Cheers, friends.
Cheers.
I've had a struggling year, and for me, with all the craziness that has happened, is a decision-making process. It's like, okay, I've had all these really negative things happen to me in my life. Not just, negative here, and then time goes on, something else happens. I'm talking negative, all in one shot, bundled up. It was like a domino effect. So you ask yourself, how do I recover for something like this?
And guess what?
Well, how
That's
do I
life.
take it in?
Everybody's going to have to deal
Yeah.
with a shit run
Mm-hmm.
like that at some point.
And you're absolutely right. And I feel that, things are going to happen to you, right? Things that the road of life, right? And when we're young and we're children, depending on the parents that we have and how they raise us, we have a certain outlook and expectation of life, right? As we go through life as adults or becoming adults, things happen. And the incredible thing about it is, whether we want to believe it or not, negative things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen, things are going to happen that we don't expect are going to happen, ever going to happen, or want to happen to us, but they do. So it's how do you handle it and how do you move on from it?
Yeah.
There are people that a couple of negative things happen to them and they cave in.
Apart.
That's it.
They can't even stand up again.
But if you have that mentality and mindset where this is life and these are the things that I want to do with my life, and I'm focused on the things that I want to do with my life, and I know on that road for me to do the things that I want to do to be successful, the things that I want to do to make me happy, I'm going to run into roadblocks. I'm going to run into negativity. I'm going to run into things that are going to knock me down on my ass. What am I going to do about it, right?
It's not how many times you fall down. It's how many times
you get up. Knock me down 9 times, I get up 10. That's the ticket. So the mentality, that mindset of, you know what, I don't care. I know these things are going to happen to me. As much as
you
that
can never know what they are when they're going to show up.
But I know
there
are negative things that are going to happen to me. There's bad things that are going to happen to me. There are things that I didn't expect in my life that are going to happen to me. You know what? I have that mindset. Those things are going to happen on my road to where I want to be in my life. So when you can take that stuff in stride, even though it hurts sometimes, and even though you're like, oh man, I feel so let down. If you could take that in stride and know, hey, this is just a part of the game. I got to go through it. You go through it, and you get to where you want to go. I've had events that have happened in my life in the last year, 2 years, that on those specific days that those events have occurred, I did my podcast on those days. And you know what the crazy part is? I didn't do it because I wanted to do it on that particular day. It just so happened. And I made the decision to go through with it anyway.
And what happened? What was the result at the end of the podcast following the bullshit?
Yeah.
How did you feel?
I felt great, man, because I was doing something that makes me feel good.
Sure.
No matter all the craziness that's going on in my life and all the negativity that's happening, I'm still pursuing things that make me happy and bring me joy and that are helping others. Dude, like I couldn't be more happy.
That's the formula.
It is the formula. Yeah.
That's it.
So that's why I love interviewing people like you and being friends with people like you and Dana Shaw, because it's positivity. It's I don't give a shit what happens in my fucking life that fucks me up or makes me feel like shit or makes me feel bad or knocks me down. I will get the fuck up just like you two fine gentlemen will, and we're going to pursue the things that make us happy in life, no matter fucking what. Because I'm here today and I'm gone tomorrow. I don't give a shit. So thank you for being here and inviting us on the show. Because I fucking appreciate it, brother. Seriously.
Facebook Live, we love you. YouTube Live, we love you. Joe, Dana, I love you guys. This is amazing.
Dude,
is there any topic we haven't hit that we need to?
Yeah, actually, you told me
I feel like this is like
we're talking about positivity.
This is a gushy
we're
way
talking about
to end it.
positivity. We're talking about serious
I mean, I'll get up and go make cocktails again.
Listen, I'll remind another elbow exercise if you don't mind.
Elbow exercise. It sounds like a clown punch.
Elbow exercise?
Elbow exercise.
Yeah, can I get a touch
elbow exercise?
We're curling fucking shot glasses over here. Quick shout out to the listeners.
Hey,
Brittany Stans, you know how I feel about you, baby. I love you, always will.
Are they recommending topics or
She
what?
goes, who doesn't kill us makes us strong. What doesn't kill us makes us strong? Absolutely right. If it don't kill you, baby, you still here. Keep on punching, baby. Absolutely right. Kathy Corcoran, you're a rock star, and we'll go far. And I am sure you mean that for all of us. And I love you. And God bless you. The phone was upside down.
It was upside down.
It's okay. We'll keep it on Dana Shaw because everybody loves Dana Shaw.
I don't know where you could sit. No, because it's facing out. So you got to put it the other way.
So, is it really?
Yeah. So we've been filming the glass for the past 15 minutes.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
All right, so I'm going to make a little thing here.
Roger, bro, God puts us in troubled waters because he knows our enemies can't swim in them. I like that.
Another thing is, God gives his
that.
biggest challenges to his strongest people.
I heard
And Alex says, put the trash to the curb and wait for the garbage guy to throw it out. You can do that.
I like that too.
I heard of
Waste management, pick up that one.
Yeah.
Dude, all kudos to Facebook and our YouTube followers for all these bits of wisdom, I'm going to add one more thing to it. The other day I had to get a rental car because my car was in the shop.
Yeah.
Whatever was the preset station when I turned the rental car on, some dude, whatever radio station goes, what the fuck was it? It was so brilliant. It was, if you don't heal what hurts you, you will bleed on those who did not cut you.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's
What?
deep.
I like that.
That's deep.
That's
deep.
That, like, I put that straight up on my Facebook, and I really hope I remember that sentiment at all times.
I'll tell you.
So while you're pointing the camera,
Yeah.
I'm making us a quick shot because I don't want Dana to get ahead of us again.
Shot.
Setting the bar. And that's what I'm doing. I set it real high.
Dana,
I'm trying to bring it down back to earth.
I'm what you call an advanced drinker. I know I've said that already.
I think that's fair.
Dana, what? Can I
There
say
is
something?
no Dana,
Yeah,
only
right.
Zool.
You're a fucking animal.
I know.
You're an animal. You're an animal.
So,
Dude, I thought I was a
shot
quick
glasses.
drinker. You crushed me, dude.
I know.
You really do.
Lots of
I'm
experience.
not a player, I just crush a lot.
Oh, big
yeah. Guys, I love that there's love going on in the chat right now with chatters back and forth.
I love the
Brittany Stern showing love to Rod showing love to Britt. That's so cool. I love that there's love being shown in the chat.
This is
live
Glass
on the motherfucking show. What's going on here? What's this called? And what's in it?
Gold Miner's Daughter.
Gold Miner's Daughter.
It smells fantastic.
2 parts spice rum, 1 part white rum, 1 part ginger mint syrup, 1 part lime juice. This will be like a mint key lime pie in a glass.
Mint key lime pie.
And it's going in your mouth.
In a motherfucking glass.
To your health, boys. And girls.
Salud. God bless you guys that are tuning in. I wish you could be here to have a drink with us.
That's clean. I like that a lot.
Balance.
Wow. It's not, like, when you take shots from back in the day, it's like, oh, you got to stomach them, you got to push them down. That's smooth. That's like silk. Yeah, that's super good.
Mint key lime pie
I
in a
like
glass.
that a lot. It tastes really good.
For our Facebook listeners,
Hi,
God
Facebook
bless
friends.
you guys. Tune in. I put the link on this little thingy here. Tune in on YouTube. Thank you. Love you. We're still on YouTube.
We're still on YouTube.
Yeah, Facebook though.
Hey, do you guys want to try some of the juice straight? Or do you care?
Oh,
let's
yeah.
do it.
Challenge accepted.
It's not a challenge, man.
Oh, no. I mean,
We're not ripping full shots.
You're right. It's not a challenge. It's a pleasure.
Yeah,
It's different.
It's a really yummy way to enjoy really good booze.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Specifically, I think
I'm so happy that you invited me out here to do this with you.
Oh, really? Dude, yeah, man. Bro, you were the guy.
I appreciate it.
I have a co-host team on a Guy Through podcast, and I want to say I'm very blessed to have these really cool individuals that I know in my circle that I love very much, that I trust, and that I just love being around. Just good, positive people. Dana Shaw, my man, is one of them. And when I have my shows, I have the particular guests that are on the show for that night. I choose who I want to co-host with me. And I know my boy Dana Shaw. This is Dana Shaw's show.
This is jam?
Yeah, 100%. It's not even about me, guys. It's about the guests. It's about who we're talking about, where we are, and my co-host. I'm last on the
kind of
list.
feel like it's about the listeners and the viewers.
Always about the listeners and the viewers.
It's for the listeners.
Yeah, always about the listeners and
You
the
know,
viewers.
if we're not spreading love and positivity, I wouldn't be on this show with you.
Yep.
And that's what I love about your show.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, so check it out. Smell this before you sip it. Tell me that smells like any vodka you ever had.
No,
What does it smell like?
I mean, it smells
popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Really? That's interesting. 10% of it is corn. 20% rye, 10 wheat. I'm sorry, 70% wheat, 20.
The nose may be small, but it can sniff pretty good.
like a drug sniffing dog.
A movie theater dog. Popcorn. Anyway,
I love it.
people talk about fruit aromatics, a little bit of vanilla people talk about on the nose. We used to give a bottle of this one particular Texas vodka.
It's the
In
best
here.
fucking episode ever.
And people always smell ours and then smell theirs, and they're like, that's. They talk about the fruit and the vanilla aromatics on the nose on ours, and people are like, oh, shoot, that smells like rubbing alcohol.
John,
Yeah.
This is not.
this is my favorite episode to date. I gotta
Out
say.
of 48, I got
46.
46.
Yes.
I'll say where we are in 2 episodes.
No, it really is, man, because this is how
But
I
it's
want
fun,
to do
but
my
it's
podcast.
delicious, but it's also
Educational, informative. We'll shoot the
We've
shit.
given out some cocktail recipes tonight.
Yeah.
Tasted some stuff. Hey, is any for those of you commenting and watching live, if anybody wants to know anything about any of the recipes or how we do any of this stuff, comment right here while we're live and let Joe ask. Read it out loud and we'll talk about it.
Yep.
If anybody's got anything specific they want to talk about, you can just send us messages.
Yeah, shoot, just type it in real quick. What subjects you want us to hit up?
Yeah.
What questions you
We're
have?
not in any
We'll
hurry.
do it live. We're right here.
We have booze.
We're right here. Bring it up. Bring it up.
we do.
We don't care.
Unfiltered.
We're going to take a shot, and then right after the shot, we're going to talk about iguanas in Florida, invasive species. I got something to say about it.
Now
That
tell me.
is smooth. Everything about you and everything about the alcohol that you have is
Is that the smoothest vodka that you've ever had?
It is. It really is. I'm not blowing smoke like that.
Can I talk
Really
about the
good.
vodka for about 20 seconds?
Yeah.
We approached creating this vodka the way you would approach creating whiskey. I've traveled a lot and I've gone to a lot of distillery tours. And a lot of times what you have happen at distillery tours, they'll give you a chance to blend some whiskeys and make your own little, like, a half a bottle or whatever of some kind of blended whiskey in one of
You
these
can do a
distilleries.
full pull if you want.
I thought that was pretty good.
No, you can do a full pull.
What's the flavor on there?
It's just it's vanilla.
It's a blue.
It's a blue.
Don't
We're all
get-
adults here. It's
don't
time to
get-
take your freedom back.
Don't get
You
that-
guys better definitely call an Uber. That was my dad, by the way.
I live 2 miles away and
How's this motorcycle doing?
Dad, how's your motorcycle doing?
we're going to expect an answer post-haste.
Oh, yeah. I'm typing right now.
Don't
Like,
get
so
that
there's a couple fingerprints on it. Like I went by his house the other day and I'm just fucking
high five. Greasy
High
fucking
five,
hands. Don't get that blue on your balls.
eh.
All right, vodka. Go.
So,
20 seconds. Elevated
distilled
speech.
only
Go.
twice. If it's the last damn thing I do on this earth, I will dispel the myth that a high number of distillations is a good thing. So, like Tito's is 7 times.
Yep.
Western Sun says 10 times distilled on their label. There's one called Purity that I think is like 37 times distilled. A lot of different vodkas and booze brands have a high number of distillations on their labeling. All that tells me is that they're starting out with cheap ingredients because it's way cheaper to buy garbage grains and redistill it over and over again than it is to buy really good local non-GMO pesticide-free whatever clean grains you can get a hold of. Those are more expensive, and it's easier to redistill and remove odors and remove bad flavors. I love Purity vodka. Tito's is the biggest vodka in
Tito's
North
is
America.
huge.
Do you know who hates Tito? Cattle and goose. Do you know who I would love nothing more than to be right beside on every shelf in North America? I would love to be right beside Tito. They have figured out a beautiful formula, and their brand is so sophisticated, and their marketing is great, and their vodka is obviously good, or else nobody would buy it.
Yeah.
But like that's what we want to do. We want to provide an alternative, and so as that alternative, we created it the way you would create a whiskey, and so it's got a straight up backbone. If you sip it straight, it's so good. It's 70% wheat, 20% rye, 10 white corn. Corn has a sweetness and roundness. Rye grains, if anybody's ever had straight rye whiskey, you know that it's like peppercorn and dill flavors and the things that you would find in a pickling brine. And I don't mean the salt and the vinegar. I mean the
I
natural.
love pickle, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to say the vodka tastes like pickle. It's not that because the major flavors of pickle are salt and vinegar. But the other things that are floating around in a good pickle jar, those are the flavors that people find in rye whiskey. So we use 20% of that, 10% white corn. The backbone, the base of almost every commercial vodka except Tito's, almost invariably is wheat. There's no,
Okay.
there's only 1 or 2 potato vodkas. That was an aberration. It's almost all wheat. So we knew we needed to have that backbone so it would be great in cocktails, but to be great straight up, to have a Polish person or a Russian person who grew up drinking their local indigenous vodka, reach out and love Steel Tie vodka. And that's what we've been seeing. And sommelier have come through here, friends of ours that work in restaurants and bars locally that are somms, they taste this stuff and they're like, what did you do?
It's
That is
incredible.
not like any vodka I've ever
That's
had.
incredible,
Like,
brother.
I've never been able to have vodka on the rocks, whether it's Grey Goose or whatever. Like I could drink that on the rocks.
Yeah,
And you just had it neat with no rocks.
Yeah,
That was neat.
You don't even
That was
need to
neat.
chill it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you stick this in your freezer,
Mhm.
people, here's the one problem, the one little fault, if I want to even get that there and call it that. When we launched it in February, there's an event here every year in Jupiter called Mardi Gras. It's a big art fest out on the streets in the neighborhood called Abacoa. And we donated rum the last several years to help them. It's a local group it's the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
And so we donated the vodka this year for the first time. They never had vodka donated, and we never made vodka before that. Literally, we finished the recipe about a week before we were supposed to get it to them, and we filtered it and bottled it and gave it to them. And people kept coming to my tasting tent on Abacoa at the Mardi Gras, thinking that they had a weak drink. It was vodka lemonade, and they were like, "There's no vodka in this. This is lemonade." And I went, "Okay, have another." And I'm not trying to sell stuff at the bar tent. Just have one more and come to me and tell me if you don't have a buzz. It's 80 proof, but it tastes like it's half that because it's so smooth.
Wow.
If there's a knock on my company's brand new vodka, it would only be that it's so smooth that it can get lost in a cocktail. People are so used to jet fuel vodka
Right. Yeah.
that if it doesn't have like a
little burn at the
something
end.
up the back you throw it into your nose.
Yeah, no, it's got to be a burn. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So
Vodka,
because
for me, I've never had. This is something special.
and the
I got
guy
some wild stories about vodka. Wild.
Oh, dude.
not about vodka, about what happened with you and vodka.
Like once vodka's in your system, yeah.
Then it
I got some too.
shit flips upside down.
Wild. All I got to say is Stone Porterhouse. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. I
Fair
don't have to
enough.
say anything else.
Anyway,
So, iguanas.
let's talk about iguanas. Do they like
Rick Stern says, did you hear about the pool boy that was shot in the leg? Someone tried hitting an iguana and missed. Stories on her Facebook. Did you hear about that? Because I know you're patrol.
Where was that?
It's had to be in Florida
I
because
do know.
iguanas are a super invasive species in Florida.
no.
And I want to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
I got to say something about the iguana situation. So I love animals, big pro animal guy. Iguanas are getting out of line. It's crazy. I don't know if you guys know everything that's going on with iguanas right now in South Florida. Not Northern Florida. They don't want no business in Northern
It's like
Florida.
Jurassic Park in the park.
It's like fucking Jurassic Park. I played golf on Saturday in Delray Beach, Florida, at Delray Beach Golf Club with my boy Joe Scandato. We had a great time.
Shout out. What's up?
Shout out. We had a great time. But we didn't play with them. We played among them. They were everywhere.
And they-
Everywhere. And they're huge.
They shit like dogs.
And they have salmonella.
There's
They
just
contaminated
poos everywhere.
shit with salmonella. So you got to be careful when you're walking your dog, because if your dog even licks iguana shit, salmonella, they're going to be in trouble. So actually, iguanas have recently become an invasive species over the last couple of years in the state of South Florida specifically, because they're not native to South Florida, but they're able to flourish in our climate.
And in the waters, the canals. Dude, if
They
a
can
dog
swim.
or a cat chases one, they jump in the alligator.
They could Jesus walk across the water. They could swim. They literally can. Like,
They lay a lot of eggs.
they lay 70 eggs in one birthing. 70 eggs. They are flourishing.
That's too
There are
many.
iguanas
Too many
everywhere,
eggs.
and they
I mean, it's like turtles.
survive
They're
the
like
birth.
hungry.
That's the crazy thing about it.
Turtles
So
are endangered.
we have.
We need them.
I mean, I moved down to Florida 19 years ago, and in 19 years, the fluctuation and the increasing population of iguanas is out of control. They could dig underground. They could ruin the infrastructure of your home. They could ruin power lines. They could, if they bite your pet, they could kill your pet.
Oh, and by the way, those big ass tails will slash at a dog or a cat, cut their belly open.
They're sharp like an alligator.
The scales on an iguana's tail, especially the bigger they are, males could grow up to 20 pounds and be 5 feet long. The females could be 5 feet long, 7 pounds, so they're thinner. The males are much fatter. They have different colors. They climb trees. So
They'll get
Florida
mangroves,
state,
they're up high.
the Florida state law is you can actually shoot to kill with a pellet gun. You can crack them over the head. The state law is
I know
if
a
they
lot of
are on your
guys-
property, you could kill them.
I know a lot of guys in the Keys who go into the mangroves on like a flat skiff with a spear gun and shoot them with a spear gun out of the branches
It's actually illegal, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying I know people who do it.
Yeah.
It's news to me.
Yeah, it's illegal. There's certain ways you can kill them.
One way or the other, they're eating them and they're making it into food.
One shot, one kill.
It's got to be a headshot. So you gotta pellet gun. You have to use a pellet gun. You can't use anything higher than a pellet gun.
Okay.
You cannot use a bow and arrow or spear gun. Can't use.
So it's all my friends in the Keys who are posting pictures on your Facebook. Knock that shit off.
Yeah, knock that shit off.
And even out of it, look, it's weird the way the state
I didn't know it was illegal. Only because all my
there's certain legal ways of doing it.
It's got to be humane. I mean, if you hit it with a shovel, it's got to be one shot.
I'll put it this way: if you got a pellet gun and you shoot it and you miss its head, don't kill it and injure it. You have to move on to the next one. Gotta move on to the next one.
It'll swim one shot into the water and drop.
Yeah,
right. So,
understood.
Headshots only.
So practice
Headshots
with your
folks.
pellet guns.
Headshots.
So all you Call of Duty motherfuckers, this is your chance to shoot.
In this case, we're spelling duty differently. D-O-D-Y. Call of Duty.
Iguanas.
All right, wait. Let me put this disclaimer because you got your shirt on. In no way are we saying go out to Walmart, get a pellet gun, and start hunting.
This is not an animal cruelty thing.
It's not yet.
This is an environmental thing, legitimately.
And also
Look it
be careful if you're going to go ahead and do this. You got to make sure you're not walking around your house or whatever with a gun because it looks like a real gun.
And you don't want the cops to
You
get
don't want
involved.
the cops blowing up your house.
There's another thing
You
to
don't
that.
want Popo rolling up.
The best thing to do is call wildlife or call
Animal
a trapper and
conservation,
have them
yeah.
do it.
But if you are going to be the kind of person who's going to
If you are the
take a shot,
American sniper, you can go ahead
which
and take a
there
shot.
was ever only.
There is a law that you can, if they're on your property, you can kill them.
You can't kill them.
But here, look, one very important thing. In firearm safety, there's a very important concept called
Always be certain.
downrange theory.
Yep.
What's behind the thing you're shooting? Because if
Always
you
be
miss
certain of the target.
and there's a house there, there's a kid, a swing set, anything where there's humanity or even pets, anything you don't want to kill, do not pull that trigger.
You know, I think this is a great opportunity. You named one of the 4 rules of firearm safety. This is a great point. You know the other 3?
I've been drinking.
Well, you're the ex-cop, so you may as well talk
I was raised by a
ex-cop in
military.
Ex-cop in Colorado. This man right here.
Downrange theory.
Yeah, the downrange theory is a big part of it. Always be certain of your target and beyond. Keep your finger off the trigger and out of the
Until
trigger
you're
guard
ready to
until
fire.
you're ready to fire. Don't point your gun at anything you're not willing to destroy.
Right.
You know the last one?
Don't stick it up somebody's butt. Pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's the 4th one.
Thank you.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
It is the 4th one because it isn't that.
Yo,
It isn't that.
Hold on.
I don't know. I thought it was right for a
turkey
second.
beyond. Treat every firearm as if it's always loaded.
Oh, definitely. For
That's the
sure.
4th
Oh,
one.
okay.
That's the 4th one.
Yeah, I did know all those. I just forgot right
That's the
now.
4th one.
Yeah.
And we're at a cocktail side.
Yeah, we are.
And I think we're out of time. I think we're going to shut it down. We're out 32 minutes in.
An
I just
hour and
want-
32 minutes.
Yeah, we're in. Pop in real quick. I want to say something right now. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I love what I do. I love having gentlemen like this on my show. It's amazing. Most importantly,
It is a pleasure.
thank you. It's an honor to be with you. Thank you. The most important thing is I love the fact that I have my listeners that tune into my show. It's so exciting for me. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to have Dana Shaw on the show. So much fun to have John Moore on the show and be here at this amazing facility in West Palm Beach, Florida, the Warehouse District,
Piece of history.
Steel Tie Spirits. This building built since 1925. Unbelievable, amazing place. Black Coral Rum. Every time you buy a bottle, $1 goes to the veterans. It's amazing. This is what America's all about. And I love being in a place like this.
We love having you, brother.
We love having you.
Can I throw in one more thing?
Throw it in, baby. Chuck it, baby. Chuck it. Just chuck
Going
it.
back to the fact that you and I both have a relationship with Amy and Andy and Dan
Yep.
and everybody else at Death or Glory. This Thursday, 48 hours from now, we are having a food and cocktail pairing thing. One of my best friends in the world, Jules Mavromatis, runs the Milagro and Montelobos tequila and mezcal portfolio. She and I are doing rum versus tequila cocktail pairings for Chef Johnny's Caribbean dinner, not Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico dinner. Call up Death or Glory and reserve your seats. There's only a few of them left. I think there's like 8 seats left.
Let's do it.
And I think it's $65 a person. I'll add a little tax and tip or whatever on there. But call them up and get the information. It's going to be So delicious. Johnny's a genius in the kitchen. Jules created Key West's first great craft cocktail bar, which happens to be a tequila and mezcal bar. And a little bit of a nerd on cocktails too. So we're going to see what we can do to create some of the best cocktail and food pairings that anybody in the area has had in a while.
John Moore, thank you
Worth
so much
it.
for being
Thank
on the
you so
show,
much,
brother.
man.
Thank you for having us
Thank
here.
you so much.
Dana Shaw, thank you
Hey,
for
always a
hosting
pleasure,
tonight.
man.
I fucking love you,
Love
brother.
this shit.
I love all you guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's been amazing. West Palm Beach, Florida, Warehouse District, Steel Tie Spirits Distillery, Black Coral Rum. What the fuck is up, motherfuckers? Get yourself a drink. Get your ass over here. Have a good time.
Come see
Amazing people, just like John Moore.
Buy this.
Come visit us and do it. I want to give you just a little snippet, let you know. Next episode, we got episode 47, Joey Beltran, UFC, baby. UFC fighter. He performed in the Bare Knuckle Championship and won by motherfucking knockout. Love this guy, straight out of California. Check that interview out. I already did it. We're going to release it next week. I love these guys here at Steel Tie Spirits. Love Dana Shaw. Love this man, John Moore. Do me a favor, subscribe. You got to subscribe on YouTube.
Like, comment, subscribe, get
Thank you.
involved.
Yeah, bro. 5 stars. Have
5
likes
stars,
us.
baby.
Find the guy thing on Facebook, find it on Instagram, find it on YouTube, find it everywhere you can find it. Search, like, comment, subscribe, be a part of this, get a part of this community, man. We want to hear from you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. You forgot. Who won the free bottle?
Melissa De Jesus.
Yeah, bro.
Congratulations, Melissa. You are the free rum bottle winner of Black Coral Rum.
Come see us.
Congratulations. You got it. You win the bottle. Come to Black Coral Rum. Come to Steel Tie Spirits Distillery here in West Palm Beach, Florida.
1615 Clare Avenue, CLARE, West Palm 33401. And we're open Thursday through Sunday. We open up at noon. We do cocktail classes on the weekends by appointment. If you want to learn how to build cocktails, you know how you never leave a cooking class hungry. Well, you can extrapolate that out. But we love it. We're going to want to make sure the world is a tastier place, and we want you to be a part of it.
Yep.
God bless everybody. Take care of yourself.
God bless you guys. Thank you very much for
Can I do
tuning
this,
in.
Blake?
Do it.